There comes a time in every trans man's life, approximately once a month, where you begin to question the legality and likelihood of surviving a surgery performed by yourself. Today we're talking about dysphoria. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about dysphoria. It is weird to me that you can have dysphoria for so long. Sorry, my eyes. You can have dysphoria for so long and never know that that's what it's called. And for a long time, I wondered if I had body dysmorphia, which, for those who don't know, body dysmorphia is, it's essentially gender dysphoria without the gender being a part of it, as far as I understand. Body dysmorphia is kind of this can't think of the word. This abnormal hatred and disgust of your own body. And from what I understand, the difference between body dysmorphia and gender dysphoria is the discomfort and hatred of your body as it applies to your gender, presenting as the wrong gender. I do wonder if I have a mix of both. I'm not sure. I've never been diagnosed with body dysmorphia. Gender dysphoria has been a thing I have discussed with my therapist, and she thinks that it is probably the primary cause of a lot of my dissociative issues, especially because, as we've found, filming these videos and then watching them back later actually seems to help with my dysphoria. When I watch these videos later, I have this sense of being put back in my body. And that, I know that's a really weird way to phrase it. I know that probably sounds weird to a lot of people. By the way, I'm not apologizing for my appearance today. I wanted to film and didn't have time to shower and wait for my hair to dry because we don't have a blow dryer because it broke apparently. So I was just like, I found my hat. I'm going to put my hat on and call it done and film because I want to film. I don't have a lot of time left today to film. Yeah, that is the interesting thing I've noticed with videos. So yesterday I was doing some drawing because I'm trying to pick up drawing again. I used to draw all the time. Like in high school, I would draw so much. I would like draw like as when I was little and as I was growing up. But I really picked up drawing around middle school, a little bit before, maybe 5th or 6th grade. Actually, no, it was 5th grade. It was 5th grade that I got like my first sketchbook and started drawing, and I used to draw a lot. I filled many sketchbooks between 5th grade and graduating high school. And drawing was always interesting because my vision isn't very good, so I have a certain style to my art that I think is indicative of a little bit of how my vision affects my art. But it's also been a long time since I've really picked up drawing again. And I wanted to get back into it because it's something I used to really enjoy. And it's also kind of something I want to get better at. I would really, really like to get better at drawing. It's something that I haven't pursued a lot because I've been afraid that there is kind of a plateau that I can never get over because of my vision. I'll talk more about this in another video. But yeah, I've been trying to pick up drawing again. And the reason I brought that up is I had an idea, and yesterday I decided to draw what I look like to myself in the mirror. Now I'm going to try to do this without my glasses, but I wanted to show you. You want to see my picture? You want to see my picture? You want to see my picture? Okay, so Actually, I also don't know how well this is going to show up on camera. Because I could figure out how to scan it and edit it in later. But also, that fucking sounds a lot like work. I don't want to do that right now because I got other shit to do. But yes, so talking about dysphoria and possibly body dysmorphia, hatred of your body, and a possibly unrealistic hatred of your body. It's hard to admit that it could be unrealistic, but because my hatred of my body is something that I have carried with me since childhood and is it's become very integral to how I see myself, and the idea that I could ever hit a point where I don't hate my body or don't hate how I look is bizarre to me and feels unrealistic. It feels like something that could never happen. But anyway, I'm tangenting. So I drew 2 pictures. I drew one picture of what I look like to myself in the mirror, and then I drew a picture of what I look like when I watch these videos back. So first picture, I can't see, so hopefully this is showing up. I can't tell what it looks like. I literally, to me, so just so you know, what I'm looking at right now in the screen, it looks like just a sheet of white. So I can't see. But this is like when I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror, this is what I look like to myself. This is as accurate as I could get without like, I didn't draw this while I was like looking in the mirror, but this is a pretty accurate representation of what I look like in my head when I look in the mirror. And then, this is a drawing I took of one of my videos. Now these are both sketches. They are both really quick sketches. I took about maybe 5 to 10 minutes to draw both of those, so they're not super detailed, they're not super in-depth. Oh my god, my hair's probably being a mess, whatever, I don't care. Yeah, so those are both really quick sketches. If I spent more time and detail on it, I could probably have better representations, but those feel pretty accurate to me for how I see myself. And you'll notice they look very different from each other. When I film these videos, now here's the interesting thing. This is actually the really interesting thing. When I film these videos, I always watch them back, like right after I press the stop recording button, I watch them back before I put them up, just in case I said something I don't remember and it like could ruin my life. So, because I don't edit these. When I watch them back immediately, I actually see more of the first picture. And when I have my glasses on and then can see myself in the like laptop screen, because this is recorded on my webcam of my laptop, when I can see my reflection, I also see more of the first picture. Which is why I prefer not to film with my glasses. It'll be interesting when I get contacts again. I haven't had contacts in a while, but contacts are technically better for my vision. Again, I'll talk about, I want to make a video talking about my vision at some point. I was going to do that today, but then I decided to talk about dysphoria. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. What was I saying? Got sidetracked by my own burp. That's funny. Yeah, when I watch these back immediately after filming, I still look like that first picture. And it actually takes a few days where I have to wait. And then if I watch it, I should actually kind of measure how long it takes before, just for like science reasons, I should measure how long it takes for that. But when I watch it days later, I see more of the second picture. And that is fascinating to me. Also means, I'm likely never gonna be a live streamer. um, because there is something about having these and being able to watch them later and see myself as a man and see myself as a person. Like in that second picture, there is still a little bit of dysphoria because there is a femininity, I can't talk, to my face that, not a big fan of. You know, I wish my jaw was more square. I wish there was less roundness to my face. Wish I had facial hair. I actually had this idea to draw myself, and then try to like masculinize it, like basically do a detailed drawing of my face, because again, those are sketches. If I take my time, it can look a bit better than that. To draw myself and like masculinize the drawing, as if like what would it look like if I took testosterone. And I don't know if that would actually work the way I think it would work, or if it would go as well as I think it would. But it's an idea I had that I think I'm gonna try to do. I don't know when. This hat is not, I have a big head, so this hat is not cooperating. Yeah, I really want to get back into drawing in general, and that sounds like a really good project to focus on. Because I am, as much as I hate my body as it is, there is a fear. There's some fear about going on hormones, you know? I said this, I briefly mentioned this another time, you know, you can't test it out. You can't try on a masculine body and then be like, you know, never mind. I mean, technically you can detransition later, technically, but very few people do that. And that's the thing, is the things I hear is like, you know, less than 1% of trans people ever detransition. There's that meme going around of like, more people regret their Harry Potter tattoo than regret their transition. Which is encouraging, because it means that, you know, there are a lot of people who have made that choice, even if they were nervous, even if they were unsure, and they ended up being happy with the results. I have also heard from some trans people being like, I was scared to, but once I started, I was like, oh God, I wish I did this sooner. Like that's the thing I hear the most frequently from trans people, is it's like, what's your biggest regret about transitioning? And it's like, that I didn't do it sooner, which is a thought that scares me, because I wish I could enter my 30s looking like a man. I wish I could start now and enter my 30s sounding and looking like a man. I selfishly, don't cry, fucking stop. You cry in every fucking video, stop it. There is a part of me that selfishly wants all the 10 years of my 30s to be spent in a transitioned body. And there's a part of me that is, there is a growing bitterness in me that is not likely to happen in my circumstance. Because I have to get better to a point where I can move out to transition, because it's not safe to transition where I live. I have been told in no uncertain terms that if I want to start testosterone, I need to find another place to live. And the one time that I went to the Pride clinic in my area, I tried to keep it a secret, but there was some sleuthing done by some family members that figured it out, and it didn't go well. I do have another appointment with the trans clinic, the Pride clinic, because I want to kind of talk about my options, because I am considering trying to start on the lowest dose of testosterone possible, at the slowest rate possible and seeing how long I can do that before I'm found out. I don't know how possible that is. I have to talk to the doctor and see what they say. You know, I'm low-key trying to call a bluff. You know, there is a possibility that when it comes time to actually dropping me off at the homeless shelter, that my family wouldn't be able to do that. It's a hell of a bluff to try to call, but you know, I am considering it. I'm considering it. It's not until I don't know if I should say when my appointment is, but my appointment isn't for a bit, so I have some time to think. And I'm also gonna talk with the doctor there and see what they think, whether, you know, how safe or unsafe they think that is, if they have any resources or options for me if I decide to go that route. Because there really should be. There should be more more supports in place for my situation. Because there's not. There's, you know, trans healthcare is life-saving care. It is. And that's just not me talking from my perspective, but trans people have a lower life expectancy for many reasons. None of it having to do with the hormones they're taking, if that was a thing that somebody thought. Has to do with the way our country treats trans people, has to do with the messages you receive growing up about being trans. Even if you don't even know you're trans, I internalized a lot of messages from society about being a trans man before I even knew what to call it. I internalized that homophobia from the people around me. And it has affected me a lot. Even before I had a name for my experience, it's been deeply ingrained in me that I am wrong, that my body is wrong, that my attraction is wrong. You know, I talked about this in my closeted bisexuality video, but I'm finding one of the most harmful messages I internalized was that you can't be a boy who likes boys. And even though I didn't have a name for my experience growing up, what I did have is when I felt affection or attraction, towards boys, I would feel like a girl, and that was uncomfortable because only girls can like boys. And if I liked boys, that must mean I'm a girl, but I'm not a girl, I'm a boy, I'm one of them. I had this understanding that socially I was like them, and that my attraction to them was wrong. I internalized that without any knowledge that I was trans. And again, I had recurring thoughts of I wish I was a boy, but I'm not. It was always answered in my head as I wish I was a boy, but I'm not. So I just have to suffer. My hat keeps slipping off. No. Why? And despite all this, despite hating my chest ever since it started growing, having a deep disgust for my boobs from the moment they started growing, having a deep discomfort with my genitalia from a young age, having a deep discomfort with the role that I was given as a girl, growing up as one. And despite that, I'm scared to transition. I'm scared for a few reasons. My biggest reason I'm scared is, but what if I'm not trans? What if it's all in my head? What if I'm making shit up? Which I feel about every single experience I ever have. You know, I have wondered if I was faking being depressed. I have wondered if I was faking being neurodivergent. I have wondered if I was faking my anxiety. I have wondered if I was faking my vision. That was actually a huge thing growing up, is like, am I faking my vision problems? Can I actually see okay and I am faking my vision issues? That was something I struggled with a long time. Like into high school, into college. It was like, am I faking it? Do I actually see fine? And I'm just making shit up. Like, cause you can't know what other people can see. I only have my vision. I can't like try on someone else's eyes. Excuse me. So, you know, I shouldn't, but what if I'm not trans is kind of silly, because it's also like, but what if I'm not visually impaired? Well, so yeah, that's like my biggest fear is, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm not trans? What if, I'm just making it up or something? Another fear is, most of the side effects of, you know, taking testosterone sound great. Even some of the ones that are like not ideal. Like, I remember I was looking at the, I should have grabbed the papers I got from the Pride Clinic for this video. Oops, I didn't. Maybe for a future video. But, you know, a lot of, you know, the more body hair, voice dropping, there's, you know, apparently you get more energy, which sounds fucking great. I'm so fucking tired all the time. You know, there are a lot of side effects that sound great. There are some side effects I'm afraid of. I'll admit it. I'm afraid of losing my hair. I have so little hair as is. My hair is so thin, it fucking annoys me. So like, you know, losing my hair, that's a concern. I don't know how the weight redistribution works. Biffed it. You know, I am a little concerned about that, because I just don't know how it works, so I don't know what that would look like on me. I already struggle with bad skin. Worse skin sounds terrible. I think those are the only ones I'm worried about. I think. Because everything else sounds fucking great. I'm trying to think of the other side effects that I remember. I should at some point just go over the list when I find that paper. But, you know, those are side effects that I'm a little worried about. I'm also worried. I feel like I want a deeper voice. Like, having a deeper voice sounds great to me. Like, in my head, that sounds great. I think the only thing I like about myself right now is probably my voice. I think I like singing. I like the range I have right now with singing. Haven't been able to sing a lot lately, which has been really sad. My voice has kind of gotten a little rusty, which I hate. I always sing. Like, ever since I was little, I would sing all the time. And then after singing a lot in the hospital and getting restrained for singing and, you know, violently dragged through the hallways because I was singing. Haven't had as much, I don't know, I want to sing, but there's also people in the house that don't appreciate my singing too much, which is fair. What was I saying? Why did I bring that up? What was I talking about? God, that's unfortunate. I feel like I was saying something important. I was talking about transitioning, and I don't... something about trans stuff. I guess I was talking about what I'm afraid of. Oh, yeah. So, you know, probably the only thing I like about myself is my voice, and I still feel like it's too high. Like, I still feel some dysphoria, like when I listen to videos back, and I, like, if I pitch my voice up for, like, a joke or something, or I'm, like, imitating a more feminine voice, like, I feel like, ugh, I don't like that. It's too high. But in general, I think my voice is the one thing about myself that I like. And there is a part of me that's like, if I transition, what if I hate my new voice? I want to have a deeper voice. It sounds great to have a deeper voice. I noticed when I started realizing I was trans, me and my friends noticed that my voice naturally started pitching lower than it used to. And I talk at a lower register than I used to. Before I realized I was trans. And I like talking in that lower register. But what if my voice changes and I hate it? What if, actually my biggest fear is what if my voice changes and I can't sing? That's actually a genuinely deep fear I have, is what if my voice changes and I'm unable to sing? Because singing is actually one of my other reliefs for dysphoria. I really only listen to male artists and sing music by male artists, because being able to sing in a voice and pitch that is lower and feels more masculine is gives me some gender euphoria, which is one of the reasons why I want to sing, because I feel more in my body when I can sing, because that's something I struggle with a lot, is feeling separated from my body. I feel kind of frozen when I feel like a girl. I wish I had better words to put to it right now. But for lack of a better term, I feel frozen. I feel some dissociation when I feel like a girl. You'll actually notice in the pumpkin carving video, I dissociate a little bit in that video, and one of the reasons is I felt really dysphoric in that video. I felt really dysphoric. Partially because of how much the camera was showing, partially because I had my glasses on and could see what I looked like. And I notice I blip out a lot less when I can't see myself, when I feel more masculine, when I'm rewatching my videos. It helps me feel more masculine. Man, my brain is having a hard time focusing today, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, singing has been a way for me to feel some gender euphoria. And I worry. Now, obviously, if my voice changed, that would probably give me more gender euphoria, but I would hate to lose singing. I love singing. I can't wait to get a place of my own, because being able to sing without other people getting annoyed would be great. My partners used to like me singing, which was nice. I could sing when I was over there whenever I wanted, and that was really nice. So yeah, I do have the voice change is a mixture because I am kind of excited for it, but also just scared because what if I don't like it? What if I wish I could have kept my other voice? Because that's probably the only thing about myself that I don't entirely hate. So that's one fear about transitioning is some of the side effects. Another fear that is, I would say, even bigger than that. My first fear is, what if I'm not trans and it's all a lie, and then I start T and then I hate everything. That's probably my biggest fear. My second biggest fear is if I can't complete my transition. I hate my boobs. I hate my boobs. If I could only choose one thing to transition, it would be to cut off my tits. That would be the thing I would choose. I have wanted rid of these things since I started having them. I hate them. I can't feel masculine in clothes because they just are, they're too big to bind. I can't bind them. I can't ever get rid of them. Even in a hoodie, like, I can tell I have them. There's no way for me to get them out of the picture at all. Except in these videos when I can watch back, because I have the camera cut off in a way and I'm wearing clothes in a way that's not an issue. And that's one of the reasons I feel better when I watch them. Man, this hat is not being cooperative. Probably because of the angle I'm sitting at. Wonderful posture I have for these videos. Great posture. But I'm really worried about a situation where I have taken testosterone. I have, hormonally transitioned, and then I can't afford top surgery. I feel like as much dysphoria as I have now, I feel like the dysphoria I would have if I was on T, had all those changes, and yet still had gigantic tits would be really, really uncomfortable and upsetting. When I went to the clinic last time, I asked them, is it possible to get top surgery before taking hormones? Because what they say is there are a couple rules before you can qualify for a few things. And I can't remember all of them, unfortunately, so don't take my word as gospel truth right now. This is off of a memory of one appointment I had a few years ago. So, but you have to be on hormones, I think, for a year or 2 years to qualify for top surgery. And you have to, I think you also have to have your name changed on identification stuff. Or you just have to be like living, it's like you have to live out for a certain amount of time before you can qualify for top surgery. Because it's a major surgery and they want to make sure that you're sure. And so from what I remember, it's not impossible to get top surgery before you start hormones, but it is, from what it sounds like, easier to get, easier to qualify for top surgery if you have done all of those things. But I really am, I feel like if I was at a place where I had a deep voice, my, face was slightly more angular, I had facial hair, I had chest hair, more body hair, but I still had my boobs. I feel like that might even be more uncomfortable than what I feel like right now. And that's something that concerns me, because, yeah, having to live like that, and if I'm completely honest, society is a big part of that fear, because I already get weird looks when I say my name is David. Like, it's already, You know, even something as simple as uh, going to get food at like a fast food place, and then, you know, what's the name on the order? I'm like, David, and then they just like look at me like, you know, give me a weird look, which isn't like, you know, the worst transphobia in the world, but it's uncomfortable, and I know that I would get those looks even more if I had a beard and tits. That's why the comment from my dad about, you know, so you want to be a bearded lady hurts so much, because that is a transphobic stereotype that, or a transphobic, like, not stereotype, but like, the way it was used in that conversation, the way it is used sometimes in society, has a transphobic edge to it. And makes me feel uncomfortable that people would see me that way, because I have boobs. You know, I wouldn't be able to pass until... There's no way I can ever pass without top surgery. And it does concern me, like, can I ever afford that? You know, is that an option? And being in a situation where I am, you know, mostly transitioned, but still have to wear a fucking bra, you know? Like, that sounds miserable. It really does. And that is a big concern I have about starting hormones now, is because, I don't know, that's... As miserable as I am now, at least I don't get a lot of weird looks until I open my mouth and say my name, you know? And I mean, you know, what I get now still does hurt too, you know? I was walking my dog the other day, and some kids, you know, were like, they were on scooters and stuff, and they were like, move so the lady can walk past. And even that, like, stung, you know? It's like, and it's jarring, because in my brain, like, that word doesn't fit, you know? I forget sometimes that people see me as a girl, like, when I'm out and about. I forget and I don't forget. I'm highly aware, and then it's like, I hear lady or ma'am or miss, and I'm like, ugh, ew, yuck. And I know if I did transition hormonally and still have massive fucking tits, that just would not go well for me. It just wouldn't. Like, people are not going to treat me well. I'm at more risk of certain things, you know. I live in an area that is not queer positive. I live in an area with Trump signs in most yards. I live in an area where there was some aggression towards queer people very recently, like a year or two ago, very, very close to where I live, in this city. I'm not going to give details because I don't want to dox myself, but there was this massive thing that happened where a bunch of people, a bunch of white supremacists and other, and, you know, a bunch of very hateful people showed up and were very threatening towards a queer event that was happening. And it was really tense for a while, and it was a really, really bad situation. And I live in an area where it is not unlikely that something dangerous could happen if I was more visibly trans. And that's a concern. That is a concern. And it sucks that I'm in a position where it is safer for me to live in a body that I hate than to pursue medical treatment that could ease a significant amount of distress in my life. I hate my body. I hate my body. I hate everything about it. You know, I talked in that one video, I have a violent hatred towards my body. It is not a passive emotion. It is not a passive thing. It is an active and violent and intrusive hatred that is persistent. And even when I was in a relationship where they loved me very dearly, and would show me that they loved my body, I still hated it, and I could not accept the kind of love they were trying to offer, because I had so much vitriolic hatred towards my body. You know, you can tell from that first picture I showed. Oh, my baby boy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. He's coming out to join the video. He's a baby boy. Probably have to end this soon because he might be making a request. I can't reach you. No, come back. Please. Come back. Come on. Yeah, he's a good boy. But yeah, I do wonder if I have a combination of gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia, just because I don't know what the exact difference of it is, and I haven't really been treated for my hatred of my body. You know, I only had a name for the dysphoria semi-recently. So, don't go where I can't follow. Come back. Come on. Come here. Okay. Well, yeah, here you go. Yeah. So, I don't know. I want to transition, but I've got to find a place where I am allowed to. I got to find a place to move to. And something that scares me is even if I move out and move somewhere, like the city that is the closest to me, that would be probably the most ideal to move to, just in terms of places near me that are less of a hassle. I don't know how safe it is to be queer in that city. Probably safer than my situation right now, right here. But I don't know. I have ideas of places I would like to move. Man, if I had the money, I would definitely move to a bigger city that had really good public transport and a really, really active queer community, and a big one. I have some ideas, but I don't have the money currently, and I don't know if I ever will. So I don't know if I can hold a job. I don't know if I'm too disabled to hold a job. Or is transitioning the thing that would make me able to hold a job? That's the thing, is like, is most of my pain and discomfort and psychological issues related to being trans, and could it be fixed by having access to hormones? That is a genuine thing I wonder. And I can't find out where I'm at. I can't find out in my situation. I have to, find a way to get a job and move out, because there aren't any supports for us. There's not enough supports for somebody in my position. There should be housing options. There are supposed to be housing options for my situation. There are supposed to be options. Oh, he's making a request. I'll probably talk more about dysphoria in other videos. I guess that was enough for now. I guess this is like a part 1 of gender dysphoria. Yes. Hello, my child. Do you have to use the restroom? I'm gonna take your silence as a yes. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this here, I guess. I'll go on more about dysphoria because it's a big part of my life right now and bears more discussion. So, yeah. Do you struggle with dysphoria? Do you struggle with dysmorphia? Do you struggle with hating your body in any way? Have you transitioned? Do you have any advice? Do you have any thoughts? You know, any and all feedback is welcome. I'm gonna leave so that I can take care of my baby boy. And yeah, that's a video. Bye.